From divines to star of the light Erini, crystal and indigo guide to the galaxy. Athena, the rising of the Holy Mother's light back into the world. The stone genus is being released. Good and evil, a great moment for humanity. Message, the scales of the good and evil, this is the full moon of rebalance. The innocent ones are now free from blame. The lesson is taken. The Holy Mother Trinity has spoken. So it is. If there was ever a moment of recalibration between good and evil, this is upon this full moon on Sunday the 31st of May, the very last day of the Holy Mother's month. The Holy Mother has already commanded the recalibration between good and evil, and those who are the unrepentant and wicked ones will now become the only ones responsible for their thoughts, words, and actions on all levels of time and space, and the innocent ones will be free from blame. Blame and manipulation, both internal and external, has created great sorrow and disappointment, which has resulted in mental, emotional, and physical illness that has been running deep in the family lines. This is a moment of liberation and recovery because all the inner portals have connected and been reborn, so the anagenesis can begin. This is a totally new phase in the Ascension Chronicles in which the physical remembrance, transformation, and rejuvenation will take over the inner fields. Everyone who is ascending has the obligation to recognize and study the ways of evil. It is part of the self-knowledge needed for a soul to become an adult one. I often share in the groups how exiting the fallen matrix is almost impossible because of its nature. It is built in such a way with so many different levels, doors, and unseen and twisted details, so that it is almost impossible for a being to observe them and to be so focused, connected, aware, and present, because the human system has been severely abused and attention is split and mostly on survival. So the exiting path is so demanding, narrow, and so difficult to take that usually people abandon the effort because their minds convince them to do so. This is the goal, to always abandon the effort because the machine wants as many as possible caught in its web and claws. One of the factors that makes it almost impossible to leave it is that many are missing the fact that it is their inner reunion to the Holy Mother Trinity that is meant to open the doors and solutions that lie within them naturally, via self-love, faith, and acceptance. The program and beliefs of the fallen matriarchy still runs deep in both women and men, and still governs the reality, obscuring truth and excluding the soul in the body. So the mind, traumatized truly in isolation and grandeur, has been detecting what is or is not important, as humanity has been suffering from insanity because of this inner separation. While humanity dwells in inner separation, it cannot ascend. I feel the need to share again that it is very important that people keep their eyes on the solstice and begin preparing for it, as this full moon is forming the act of recalibration between good and evil is essential, because it is preparing everyone for the victory of the light that is coming upon this solstice. The fruit has been returned to the tree of good and evil. Lesson is taken. We have now connected all inner portals, entered the rebirth process via the mother's clock. All parasitic weeds and elements have been removed from the mother, and she reversed the energies. The living ones have now moved beyond the clashing rocks. The stone genus is being released and the crown is being reattached, and this has never happened before. Inner experiences might get more unusual now, because the forerunners are moving through the fields of great power of the ancient stories and characters, and they begin bending time and space, and it is all meeting in the now. Soon, when the bottle opens, the great cosmic current will be unleashed. This current is meant to be respected because its force is great. The events that will follow will be unprecedented. Eventually, as the resurrection of the horizontal feminine axis will begin. The events that will start playing out in the world will be of such nature that people will begin awakening like never before, rejecting the ways of the controllers, calling for God to support them, and choosing to enter the streams of salvation worldwide via their free will. The periods that the streams of salvation will begin rising fully will be the most challenging for the masses. This is good and necessary to push people towards awakening. For the ascending ones who have already moved through the inner challenges, this full moon and the upcoming solstice initiate their new state of being and rejuvenation in the great joy of life, as they have been blessed by the Holy Mother Trinity and have moved beyond the clashing rocks. Nothing will be left unseen or unturned. Nothing will be bypassed. Nothing will be skipped, and all major steps will be taken one by one. Now the best phase begins as the true powers return, and people will be able to drop the limitations of the false ego identity and embrace their inner essences and abilities and heal themselves from any misalignment and suffering. The light of the Holy Mother Trinity will be rising again into the world. The world has been missing her light. The new dawn is here. Remember that everything will begin smoothing out through the sweetness of her heart. This is where her light is. She sent out and gifted the children the rays of her unified light back in December 2025. And the next north-south vertical axis resurrected, and now she is ready to fully return and fully show her light so that the children can fully commune it via the west-east horizontal axis. The Holy Mother Trinity, her great mercy will shine upon the world. Love, Sophia, and faith. 144 flowing in. I wish you a happy rebalance and a whole felt self-forgiveness and breakthrough. Great love and blessings to all in joy and in health. The unimpeachable well of the Holy Mother. Erini. Christos Iasonas Athor, El Moriana Anadi Miana, Urania, Aurelia Magdalena. True sacred galactic clusters. Amalthea Thor, Har Zaronia, Alicia, Hunama Anata Kumara. Yellow galactic warrior.